Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Inside Abuja. I am your host, Darshan Husseina Usman. Now, the number of headquarters of security outfits located within the FCT, a lot of people seem to think that this will be the safest place in the whole of Nigeria. But is it? Today on the show, we'll be taking a look at blind spots within the FCT. Come with us. Built in the 1980s, Abuja, which became the nation's capital in 1991, is one of Nigeria's most planned cities. It is the center of government and home to foreign embassies, diplomats, and businesses. As an emerging megacity in the continent and world at large, Abuja is relatively calm and peaceful. However, restiveness and insecurity in some parts of the country and the quest for a better life has ushered in an influx of people from all over the country. And with them comes little trickles of violent skirmishes that were once alien to the city. Today, the city, which was once considered as an island of safety amidst the surge of incidents elsewhere, now appears increasingly vulnerable. This vulnerability is mostly noticeable in flashpoints. These points are dangerous as passers-by or residents may be unaware of criminal elements lurking around when they walk, drive, or hang around. These incidences happen at odd hours, mostly during the early hours and late night when these areas are quiet and slightly deserted. Security experts say many crimes go unreported in Nigeria because of distrust for the police, a lack of police presence on the ground, and a general feeling that reporting a crime will unlikely lead to redress. In different parts of the city, it has been observed that these men of the underworld deploy different approaches in their nefarious activities.
The police command is doing so much. The administration under the leadership of CP Babaji Sunday has emplaced a lot of security measures, chief amongst which is the deployment of a hybrid team containing the command anti-kidnapping unit, the local vigilantes, destiny hunters, and most times working in collaboration with sister agencies like the military. These guys are not even staying in their offices anymore. They have been permanently moved to those areas suspected to be associated with high risks of attack. We've also intensified intelligence gathering and the creation of little outposts along those axes. That's what we've been doing. That's what we've been doing basically. We've been doing sensitization for the locals too, as touching how to effectively report and to gather intelligence for the police. So we swing into action whenever there is such.
At the Wuse 2 area of the city, some of the criminals here often pretend to be private security personnel manning edifices around the area. They're said to usually pounce on their victims in groups, using heavy chains to stop them abruptly and thereafter rob them of their belongings. Apo Bridge or Apo Roundabout is another volatile point, especially at night. There have been many reported cases of people getting robbed under the bridge. These bandits have a way of carrying out their act and still escape unchallenged, despite the presence of security personnel who man some of the buildings.
There's been a lot going on in FCT, especially when it's 7 p.m. in the evening. From 7 p.m. upward, you have to be careful the kind of environment you entered because you don't know where you're entering. They've been robbing, kidnapping, and all of that. And it's so obvious these days because you may even just stand on the road looking for a vehicle to go to somewhere, and before you know, someone has already come, snatch your phone, your bag, and the insecurity is just something else. Well, I've heard of a lot of stories. Even now, right now in Abuja, I don't think anywhere is safe because cars has been, in fact, even you as a driver, you have your own car and all. Before you know, you're carrying a passenger that you don't really know. Before you know, they could snatch your car from you and your phones are being collected from you and all. So I think there should try and be securities around the environment, like places like, I've heard a lot of cases like Lugbe side and Apo side, even zone 6, that area too is not safe. When you're just looking for a vehicle, bam, somebody comes from nowhere and then they snatch your bag, and that is it.
Even though I have never experienced it, I heard so many people talk about how the bridge is at night. Like all these Agbero, they always come around, snatch people's bags, snatch people's phone. Like, it's really not cool. So we are pleading on the government to assist us in any way, even if it's to get more securities to hang around the bridges. Like maybe not only at night, because it happens even in the daytime. So we are calling upon the government to help us, to come to our aid, because it is really getting out of hand. Like today, one was telling me that they snatched her phone at that Maraba bridge, and it's really not cool. And like a girl of my age, how we should start saving money to get ourselves a new phone? Like, government should do something, because it's really not cool. You know how Maraba Bridge is always very crowded with people. Like, she was walking during the market, around the market area, and then someone just hit her and then collected the phone. The person ran away. Obviously she couldn't do it. She only shouted, and the person got away with it. Just like there was nobody there to chase him or go after him, so he got away with it. I think maybe we should just minimize our time, like how we use our time, in order for us not to stay out late, to avoid some of these things. Because if you're not out at night, they won't see you to do stuff like that. So people should also help us to be cautious of all these things and also to avoid them.
Also known to house criminal elements is Beggar Bridge. It is a well-constructed bridge with adjoining roads leading to Wuse, Jabi area, Gwarimpa, and Airport Road. It is also a den of criminals. Reports have it that these criminals attack passers-by under the bridge at night or early hours when there is less traffic. Sadly, this popular bridge, situated right in the heart of Abuja, has suddenly become a nightmare for residents. With Abuja being headquarters to all security outfits, the thoughts of it being the safest city would readily come to mind, but that seems far from the reality on ground.
My own idea is that the government should try to produce more securities all over, that be watching once the people that will work in the night, the people that will work in the day. Day is not much bad. It's only in the night we witness bad everywhere, which they made away with the ladies' handbag and their phone, and even go ahead of raping them, even stabbing them. So security should, government should try to give us more security that will enable people to have a confidence and be in peace when working at any time, and knowing that we need security all over. I have not have experience, but I have come in contact with the people that have such experience, and it makes people scared not move in the night. And even if they are going to move in the night, they like to be in many. And some of them don't go with their reasonable phones. They may go with just toy phone, just for them not to snatch it away from them. And this bridge, I get to know that bad guys always hang around here and smoking and drinking. And their movement scares some ladies that are not gorgeous to pass on the way, but the men that are very strong to pass on the way, they can pass. So here is not secure, it's not safe for, especially women. It's not safe at all. But I believe if government will bring security, things will begin to work out better.
At night, people they say that it's dangerous, because not dangerous, at least when you're going in the night, you know that they are doing some bad area boys that are hanging around here. I don't know, I was hard though. So it's in the night that people just come and just find their way. But mostly ladies, if you carry a bag, if you don't take your time, they'll just snatch your bag. According to as I had, that's the only thing I had. One of our friends have said it. That is picking pocket or this snatchers, handbag snatchers. Yeah. But I never have the experience. So, but I've been hearing from people that here is the.
Before now, Berger was a hot place and a no-go area because it was comprised with a lot of these social vices activities, stealing, even raping ladies here at night. Until the coming in of Aero 5, when it came, was the last bus stop within Abuja here, comprised of a lot of dangerous boys. Aero 5 was able to pursue the Agboro within here, but notwithstanding at night, if you are here alone with your bag or handset, they used to snatch it and take it away from you. So it's not always advisable to be here at Berger Runabout. Once it is 9 o'clock, 10 p.m., it's dangerous. They can even take your life at you. Now with the incoming of security and some of these security apparatus, it has reduced minimum, not as before. Because what actually attracted their neighbors say was because of the motor parks. They used to be loading here. Even with that, they try as much as possible to stop them, but they are still going on with it. But the level at which it was before now is reduced to the minimal level.
What I know about this Berger, during afternoon or evening time like this, you can't find anything like that because there are National Union of Road Transport Workers, the other side, and all this above. So it ain't allowed anything, you understand? If you fall in the hand of bad people, maybe when you walk from the bus stop, maybe you are walking down from where people, you walk far away from people, you understand? That is where you meet them. Maybe all this, what did they call them? One chance, That is what I know. But at night, in the afternoon, nobody can snatch bag here in Berger in the afternoon. But in the night, when they see that those people that used to walk, like all this National Union, all these cars, all these drivers that you are seeing around, when they are not around, maybe at night, that is where you understand, that is where you talk to the government. They should use security so that security will be working in the night here in Berger Bridge here.
The popular Barnex Junction and the underbridge in Wuse are well known as the unofficial spot where drug peddlers and consumers of cocaine and other hard drugs meet. Though they disguise whenever they approach intending customers, people familiar with their modus operandi understands how it works. Area 1 roundabout, Area 3 roundabout is another spot to be wary of in Abuja. At night, this roundabout is noted for all forms of harassment by suspected hoodlums due to desertion. The human and vehicular traffic during the day makes it difficult for hoodlums to strike. However, reports have it that the area reeks of Indian hemp and all manner of intoxicants that are freely sold there. Located in Highbrow Maitama district, Pape Junction has witnessed the recent demolition of all illegal shanties and other structures, which was very tiring for motorists and commuters. This has reduced the security threats from moving in and out of Pape, as heard by the residents.
This spot has not witnessed I've not seen any attack as per physical or maybe being in the scene where things happen. But it used to be crowded during some busy time, maybe morning time people going to work and evening time people closing. But I've not really witnessed any bad but the place needs to be decrowded somehow, because when you have a lot of people coming to a general area, it's bound to have influx of bad ones being among them. The people there have been living in that place for a very long time. And being a very cheap area that you have a affordable accommodation, people tend to be in that area. Accommodation in the Abuja metropolis is not easy to go by. So that place you get cheap accommodation. So when you have anything that has to be cheap, then it has a cost. So when people are so crowded in a area, you have to incur some kind of negative attitude. Some of these maybe people who drinks, you know, sell kind of alcoholic people, and not ordinary drinking. You know how Nigerian society is today. The environment, because of, do I say unemployment, it breeds a lot of different vices. Some are not here. Some people living there are not with their parents. They come from far and near. So they come to live in that place. They just believe they are not under control of anybody. So they do things at their own will. So nobody talks to anybody. And definitely, you don't expect that place should be peaceful all the time. Issue of theft, criminality will take place. I cannot tell you this is what government can do. The government is aware of it. It's not just something that is starting now. The government is aware of it. What do you do to discongest people? Now, maybe demolition of that place is not the solution. You have to put things in place before you do demolition. You give condition. If you want to take over place, there are ways you take over place. If you are displacing me from where I live, you find an alternative place for me to live. But there's no alternative, though that they are living legitimately, because some of them, the lands there just maybe because of I was born, I live in that place, this. My grandfather owned it, this is my own land. You understand? That is just it. They don't actually have papers to some of these places they live. And if you want to enforce paperwork there now, or you want to discongest that place, to own it or to make it free of crime, you have to put some certain hardship in the sense that make them have occupancy of that area. You find nobody, some people just claim it. You understand? But for you to do that, you find alternative. If you don't find alternative, there's no how you can get it. Before now, there's other places that have been, the people there, let's say, they pack them up that place, they have to relocate them to another settlement. By resettling them, collect the metropolis. That is a way of discongesting the metropolis. You understand? So they pick them to an alternative place, give them land, give them capital. Even they build some sort like that. But you can't just come and push people out and expect good results. They will revert back. They will come back. That is just it.
Considering the situation, the insecurity situation in the country now, we all knew that security is everybody's business. And if, as you can see around this place, there is no much houses. And this place just being a open ground environment, everybody comes in, particularly in the evening when people close for their various businesses. We discovered that from 6 to 8, it's only the youth, and particularly the youth that you normally see them here, are the youth that are jobless. And if someone is jobless, the person is entitled to do anything. Then for what I'm seeing and what I experience in this particular place, people are trying their possible best to avoid coming here in the evening, particularly around 8 to 9, because of the issue of insecurity, to avoid their phone snatching, to avoid the little money they have to be taken away. Then they normally avoid passing here around 8 to 9 so that something could not happen to them. The government needs to map up security strategy in this particular place. As far as, despite the fact there is no houses here, the government needs to mount up the security checkpoint here to avoid such things happening. Because there's no checkpoint here, as you can see from here down to that world-class hotel. There's no any security checkpoint. And people have been passing here on daily basis. And the security need to be here. Then I'm urging the government to do the possible need to map the security checkpoint here to avoid the snatching of phones and stealing of people's money. And life of the masses matters. But in this particular era, it's assumed that our lives are not being put into consideration because people are being killed, people's things are being snatched on daily basis. Then what I'm trying to say is that the government should do the needful to put on the security strategy here so that such things could stop.
Since the demolition have taken place, actually it really choked some people because most of us here lose their homes and every other thing. But that was not even what stopped or what bring the security of a thing,
to reduce or whatever. But what really happened is that security issue is that was the time whenever you cross here between that 8:39, you will be robbed. Some of these hoodlums will capture you, they collect your phones, mainly your phones anyway. But what at the end of the day, some of the guys around here, they now team up to fight them back. And it was after that incident, we have the police post somewhere here. There are police. It was after that incident these police people now came down. In fact, the security police per se, honestly, they have been trying for us here. Let me be sincere with you, they have been trying for us. We have a security police post here. We still have somewhere. They even parade most times. That was what really bring the reduction of the hoodlums and all whatnot. Most of them are just saying, no, these people will call this Omota, what do you call it, Almajari and all whatnot. Before you know it, they bring out the dagger. But now it has come to a little bit, it has reduced.
I normally come here time to time. So, but like the recent time I came, I heard some people talking about all these things, the insecurity that have been happening around. So it's anybody that hear about that kind of thing, you have to be scared so that you don't fall victim. I also heard of maybe some guys, they will enter a taxi, on getting to this area, they will remove maybe gun or knife or something. So it's not really good for this kind of environment. It will hamper development. It will also scare people away. Like even me, I decided not to stay out late yesterday because of this kind of news. I was even eating when I heard a taxi driver talking about the bad things that have been happening around. So it's not really good at all. Even as a driver too, if you are coming to this area very late, you will see some, maybe the passengers will enter the car differently, but they are like together. So along the line, they will probably remove a gun or a knife. Then they will part away with your properties and stuff.
I've been staying around this place for the past 17 years, and I don't think that story is true. Here have been sanitized, and it's always peaceful the way you say it. And I'm not too sure of the hoodlums attack within this environment. And we have policemen here. You can see their vehicle that way. They are here 24 hours. This is where they take over and they hand over. So if such things are there, I'm not too much in the know of that, and I'm not sure it's true. This place is a road to Pape, a suburb of Abuja town, and is the most nearest place to the city. So you have all class of people living in Pape. And a junction like this, connecting to the express road to Kubwa, is always dangerous. So you need to pin, and then that is the main reason why the police have these pin down points, to make sure that there's sanity and they're safe to life and properties. A lot of demolitions has taken place in Pape in particular, and the hoodlums don't really have where to perch anymore. And like you can see this environment, there's no way you can sleep. So if you cannot have a hiding place, then definitely you don't have anywhere to operate from. So this area is very, 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 very safe, even at night.
Nyanya Bridge is another dangerous spot where street urchins who are never in short supply around the area regularly rob unsuspecting people with the aid of dangerous weapons. Even though there's a park nearby, it has not stopped these urchins from robbing people even during the daytime. Though some residents of the area say it is not as bad as Maraba Bridge.
If you're going on that bridge and you're not physically strong, you have to be very, very vigilant. You have to watch, like, if possible, 50 or 100 meters ahead of you before you approach any other bridge. You don't just continue pinging on your phone, your head down, and you then back into the bad boys at other bridge. It is very good and advisable that once you are approaching any bridge, that you must pass under the bridge at night. You need to be very vigilant. Look 50 meters or 100 meters ahead of you. And if you observe anything, and you observe any group of people standing on that bridge, whereas you don't know their mission there, and you're not sure of what they are doing, it is not compulsory you follow on that bridge. there are other alternatives, there are other alternative routes. Like this bridge now. If you come under this bridge and you see that there are people you don't know, or there are people you don't understand their movement, you can as well go on top of the bridge instead of going under the bridge.
This Nyanya under bridge where we now, like before, Nyanya under bridge, you get one kind, like all these bad boys and other things in Nyanya before, but now Nyanya is safe now more than before. Before Nyanya is dangerous, but now Nyanya is safe. But if now Maraba, when you go Maraba, that's Maraba, anything can happen, both in the afternoon, both in the morning. But Nyanya here now is safe. We want to make Nyanya safe because mostly in the night, that's Nyanya is dangerous here. But in the night here, we get all this park where they here, there is a security here. All the security, they are moving all around in the night. So no any other these boys where they do all these kind of bad things, where they call Nyanya here, all of them, they'll find their way, go another place. That's why Nyanya is safe.
For people who are visiting Abuja for the first time, the anticipated thrills or anxiety of being in the fastest growing city in the world can be cut short, as some areas are notorious for various forms of criminality, like getting harassed, mugged, or robbed of their possessions. With thousands of lives being lost, citizens kidnapped, millions displaced from their homes and communities, and economic activities affected, people continue to live in fear and distrust, while criminal elements have taken to some blind spots in the Federal Capital Territory to perpetrate petty crimes. Across the world, especially in the FCT, government placed serious investments on security to guarantee the safety of citizens. But despite insecurity creeping into the city, Abuja remains without security cameras, while effective policing and protection of lives and property in the city continue to be an issue of concern for residents. Well, I hope with this episode, you're now aware of some of these blind spots within the FCT and also how to protect yourself when you pass these places. Until next week, I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman.